Hello guys, in this session of Ansible, I'm going to tell you about how to configure our Ansible to automate AWS. So we will see how we can configure our Ansible machine so that it can authenticate to AWS and perform the tasks programmatically in AWS portal. So through everything will happen programmatically. We will not be coming to AWS portal to perform anything. So let's see what we actually need to do. To do that, what all things we need? Just think about that. Now, first of all, we need to authenticate with AWS using Ansible, right? Using Ansible command line, we need to authenticate to AWS. Now, how to do that? To do that, we need Boto in our system. Now, to get Boto in our system, we have to follow simple steps to do that. What are those simple steps? So the simple steps are simply install Boto and Boto 3. Both the versions of Boto. So to install Boto, we have these steps to perform. So what I will do, I will simply paste them in the video. So install Boto 3, and once your Boto 3 is installed, then create .boto in your home directory. Create .boto file in your home directory. How to make sure that you are creating .boto file in your home directory? Simply sudo vi if you create Boto file this way, then it will be created in your home directory. Create this file and then paste your AWS credentials here. Now, how to paste your AWS credentials here? Simply let's try creating it. I already have one, but I will show you by taking another name. But it should be created with name Boto only, remember, not Boto 1 or Boto 2. Create always this particular file with the name of .boto. Simply what you have to do, mention credentials on top and then AWS access key ID is equal to, here it will be your AWS access key, secret access key. Here you will paste your AWS secret access key, means the secret key. So I will paste these lines as well in description section. So just follow that. I don't want it to say because I already have one .boto file. Remember to always create .boto file if you want to authenticate with AWS using Ansible command line. So now I have it created. So my Boto file is here. So this is the first part where your where your Ansible machine will authenticate with AWS. Now second part is your Ansible machine needs to create, suppose you want to create EC2 instance. Now to create EC2 instance, if you remember from portal, we always select a key, a .pem file, and we check the box that we have access to, confirming that we have access to that particular key file. Let me show you what I mean. Whenever we create any instance, what we generally do, before launching, we always select a key, right? So this key we need to provide to our Ansible as well. So our Ansible should also be aware of this key. So that is why create this key with same name here as well. And simply from where will you get the contents to put in this key file? Just go to the key which you have downloaded from there, from AWS, while creating any instance. So just open that key file, copy the contents and paste it in your new key.pem file. Create it in your home directory again. Create the key with same name as it is, as you have downloaded from AWS. Create with the same name and paste the contents of the key within this file. Now, second thing, and now the third thing which you need to do, provide access to these files so that when you are trying to launch the instances using these keys, your Ansible should be able to access these keys. So how to do that? I'm just giving full access. .boto provide full access to both the files. So sudo mod. So I've provided full access to all the users to both the files, both the key files. So .boto is to authenticate with the AWS command line, and newkey.pem is the file which we will use while creating the instance. Okay, so now I have one playbook here that will create an EC2 instance in my AWS portal. So I'm using new key there. Let me show you. See, I'm using that new key here. I'm using this file. The newkey.pem that I created in my home directory, I'm using it here because I'll use this to create the machine. Don't worry about the entire syntax of the playbook. We will talk about that later. So now I have this playbook. Let's check it out. Ansible playbook. Before running the playbook, it's always best to perform a syntax check. Syntax check. It has passed the syntax check. Now I'll run it. Now what happens? It automatically creates an instance here. See, the instance is getting created using Ansible. I didn't even come to portal and perform the click operations, but it got created using Ansible. So this is how we configure Ansible machine so that it can authenticate to our AWS through programmatically. Okay, so let me reiterate the steps. So first step is to install the Boto. Install Boto in your Ansible machine, because Boto is required so in your Ansible machine so that it can communicate to AWS API. Okay, so for the communication with AWS programmatically, your Ansible master or Ansible machine should have Boto installed. To install Boto, you need Python tool called as pip. Okay, to install pip, the entire steps to install Boto, I will paste it in the description section. After this installation of Boto is done, always after installation of Boto, create a .boto file in your home. Okay, after creating .boto file, you need to paste the credentials there. Which credentials? The AWS access key and AWS secret key. How will you get that AWS access key and secret key? So I have a video for IAM in I have AWS video for IAM. So please go and check it out. So what is this? How does this AWS access and secret key comes? They comes when you create a user which will have programmatic access to AWS portal. So from there you get the AWS access and secret key. You can download them and you can use them here. So .boto will have your credentials to AWS. And the third thing, you need new key. What is this? What is this PEM file? This is the PEM file that you use while creating any instance, while launching any instance in AWS. So this is that particular key file. Once you have both the key files here, after that you simply have to provide full permissions to both the file, to all the users. Once that is done, then you are good to automate your EC2 using AWS. By writing the playbooks for AWS, you can simply do the automation stuff for AWS. But these are the prerequisites that we have seen today. So thanks guys. Thanks for your time, and I'll paste whatever. So I will mention all the details on configuring, on creating the